Ayan na. Hi, good evening. This is the last Friday of the year 2021 and the New Year's Eve. I want you to listen because this is a very new new chapter of our life. Every new year we have what we call resolution. But the question is requirement, okay? Or how do you create a list of fresh goals as new year approaches? How do we keep this realistic and achievable new year's resolutions? Psychologists Argao and coach Aurora Suarez enumerated a few tips on how to set and follow through on our new year's resolutions. Number one, of course, we have begin with clear intentions. It is common for New Year's resolutions to end up becoming a mere to do list for the first days of January and eventually fall by the week signs. Suarez said, to help people stick with their goals, she recommends starting with solid intentions of the year. So tonight you are now trying to write down or list down some important, you know, points to, for example, I want to exercise more because my intention this year is to be kind to myself. And being kind to myself means that I will take care of my body. That is just a one list. Then this is as opposed to setting arbitrary goals based on external forces or social expectations. Number two, because consistency is the key. If you want to have a healthy body, for example, and you wrote number one is daily exercise, of course, for 365 days, you have that program in your body. Be consistent. If you want to exercise early in the morning, or before noon, or before dinner, for example. Meanwhile, Argao said that in order to be consistent, people should ensure that their goals can be broken down into simpler tasks. They can also seek help from someone who can help them get closer to achieving these goals. Often we set goals that are too high or we can make drastic changes in our lives. Argao, for us to actually make these goals real, we have to take steps smaller at a time. If you have a big goal, for example, you can break down into smaller ones that you can easily achieve. It might be helpful to seek support from others to fill those goals. Remember when you were young, when I was young also, every time we have the first day of classes in January every year, the English teachers or Filipino teachers I had before, they required us to write my New Year's resolutions. The first thing you should list there is your first day impression with your classmates because that is specific. And it follows that it goes to yourself, to your families, to your communities, and so on. And at the last part, you have also another resolutions for the whole year. Because if this is not achievable, then you try again for the next new year. However, number three, set boundaries. The pandemic made us realize that a part of our physical health, we need we need to take care of our mental health. A lot of the new goals that we should be setting should also include self-care. This includes many changes that would allow people to set boundaries in terms of what only be good for them. That includes setting boundaries of relationships, creating a work life balance that we often forget. That's why we have overwhelming resolutions. But psychology suggested that do not make overwhelming resolutions. People should not make resolutions that could potentially overwhelm them or affect other people or unfamiliar, unimaginable. For example, we need to avoid adding a resolution just because it is popular. It makes it difficult for you to become consistent, or it may cause you to make it drastic change in your life. We need to avoid making resolutions that would include other hurting other people or creating a situation that would be difficult for them. Because a resolution should be built on yourself first, followed by your friends, followed by your relatives. Of course, when you say myself, that includes your family, then relatives, others, friends, community, and so on. But there is what you call self resolution before going further. In other words, everything that is resolute should be started with yourself. My New Year's resolution, for example. Next, aside from that, we have to create a reward system. Setting a reward system would encourage someone to treat himself while achieving the goals that he had set beforehand. After a month, you will notice that you have a what? Reward from yourself. For example, if you want to buy something or travel somewhere, use that reward for the other goals that you set for yourself. It does not matter if you have only a simple reward for yourself. That is your reward system. If it is just a candy, then it is candy. If it is just travel trip, then you make it. But be sure that it's already allowed. Number six, be kind to yourself. Part of resolution is being realistic and setting goals which are achievable should come with the idea that goals can change. Because the constant on this planet is that change. He added that people should accept their limitations and be open to achieving them in a peace that they can, especially when things happen beyond their control. Of course. And this is especially true as the world continues to battle our pandemic. And we in the National Capital Region, particularly Manila, City of Manila, Tondo 1, Tondo 2, Sampaloc, there is already what? Surge of COVID-19 cases. From 889, today it reaches 2,600. What does it mean? This is the product or the result of being lax, even in the government. If the government will only put a perpetual policy to follow for every rule, there should be no, no exception. Now, I noticed that when I went to a certain politician residence, they did not even wear their own face mask or face shield because it is already lifted by the IATF, for example. That is the reason behind. If you levelize your policy, if it is level 2, is still requiring us Filipinos to wear face shield and face mask. Unless otherwise, you are alone in a particular place. Now, if you have a car and you are only alone driving there, open your windows. It is very, very common sense to use. Why do you close that? Because it is aircon? Aircon vehicle? No. Because you don't need to use anymore face mask or face shield if you are alone, so that your virus will fly away within your place. But Filipino culture, they will move if there will be a surge of 5,000 for this January, or 10,000 for this coming February. That is very late already to act. And one doctor suggested to the Department of Health, they are political, I do not know. They will act if there will be a surge for 1,000%. It's too late already. So we have to move, even if it is four Omicron, cases, six Omicron cases. What we started before, we should maintain that. Okay, it's a way. If we lose again this 2022 for a surge, what does it mean? There will be another lockdown there, lockdown here. What is the reason behind? Look, the budget of 5 trillion, I do not know. It is just there. The Department of Management, Department of Budget and Management. But be sure that we change our style as a Filipino. You're supposed to move as big guard, not only for, you know, if we reach higher numbers in pandemic, big guard even if it is four or two cases or five cases, because there is still cases, remember? We take our lesson once and for all. We don't make this pandemic to kill all Filipino peoples. We don't like that. I guess never mind those other continents because they are very rich. But what about in Filipino land? So let's pray hard that this surge in Metro Manila will not reach here in the province. And thank you for listening. Happy New Year. And may God bless us all. COVID free 2022. I pray hard for that. I pray for, you know, to stop the mutation of COVID-19 virus. Let us pray all together so that we achieve this. This is our one of the New Year's resolutions, to pray hard with the Lord, and He will stop the mutation of the virus. Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone. Please subscribe my YouTube channel, CR Channel 2022. CR Channel 2022. Okay, Happy New Year again.